Welcome back, class, to the next chapter of Polity Lakshmikant, Emergency Provisions, and the Constitutional Provisions in the Part 18 from Article 352 to 360. And emergency converts federal structure into unitary one. As we know, India has both federal and unitary, but in the emergency cases, federal structure converts into the unitary system without a formal amendment of constitution, and emergency provisions are borrowed from the Government of India Act 1935, and these emergency provisions are for to safeguard sovereignty, unity, integrity and security of country and democratic political system and constitution. So there are three types of emergencies in the constitution of India. Article 352, emergency due to war, external aggression or armed rebellion. Article 356 is emergency due to failure of constitutional machinery in the states, that is president rules. And Article 360, financial emergency due to threat of financial stability or credit of India. So let's discuss. First emergency is national emergency, which is Article 352, and there are two terms, that is external emergency, which is declared on the ground of war or external aggression, and second term is internal emergency, which is declared on the ground of armed rebellion. So external emergency on the ground of war and external aggression, and internal emergency is on the ground of armed rebellion. So first one is natural emergency. So grounds of declaration, that Article 352 says that President can declare it a national emergency due to external aggression, war or armed rebellion. This is added by 44th Amendment Act 1978, and as I already told you that the ground of war or external aggression is external emergency, and on the ground of armed rebellion it is internal emergency. And if the security of India or part of it is threatened by war or external aggression or armed rebellion, then a national emergency can be declared, and president can declare even before the occurrence of above events if he satisfies that there is imminent in danger. And proclamation is in the whole India or only a part of it, and president can proclaim a national emergency only after receiving a written recommendation from the cabinet. And as per Minerva Mills case 1980, proclamation of national emergency can be challenged in court on the ground of malafide, or that the declaration was based on the irrelevant facts. So the proclamation of emergency must be approved by both the houses within a month from a date of issue, and if proclamation is issued at the time of dissolution of Lok Sabha or dissolution takes place during period of 1 month, then proclamation survives until 30 days from the first sitting of Lok Sabha after its provided reconstitution provided, and Rajya Sabha has its meantime approved it. Until that, Rajya Sabha has approved this national emergency. and if it is approved by both the houses, then emergency continues for 6 months and can be extended to an indefinite period with approval of parliament or for every 6 months. Means it can be extended by the resolution, but can be extended for once only for 6 months, then you can again extend it for another 6 months and so on. So resolution approving proclamation must be passed by either house by a special majority, that is majority of total membership, that is more than 50%, and two-thirds of members present in voting. So revocation of proclamation means president can revoke parliamentary approval. President can revoke it and parliament approval not necessary. That if one tenth of members of Lok Sabha given a written notice to speaker or president, if a house is not in session, a special sitting of house should be held within 14 days for the purpose of considering a resolution disapproving the proclamation, and it needs only simple majority. So there are some effects of national emergency on the relations between center and state. So first one is executive power of center extends to the directing any state regarding a matter it feels necessary, and though the states are brought under complete control of center, but they are not suspended. Means center comes under the states come under the center completely, but they are not, but the state not suspended. Legislative change is first is parliament becomes empowered to make laws any subject under state list, and though the state legislature are not suspended, parliament acquires overriding powers, not suspended, it requires overriding powers, and such laws by parliament on state list becomes inoperative 6 months after revocation of emergency. Means that law made by parliament in the effect of a national emergency, then on the state list, and that law becomes inoperative in within 6 months after the revocation of emergency. And if parliament is not in session, then president can issue ordinances on state subjects, and in the 42nd amendment act, the above executive and legislative functions extend only a state where emergency is in operation, but also to any other states. Then third change between the center and state relations during the national emergency is the financial. That is, president can modify constitutional distribution of revenues between center and state, and such modification continues till the end of financial year in which emergency ceases to operate, and every such order of president has to lead before both the houses. Second effect is on the life of Lok Sabha and state assembly. On the Lok Sabha, on the life of the Lok Sabha is during national emergency. Life of Lok Sabha may be extended by law of parliament for 1 year at a time for any number of times. 1 year at a time and for any number of times, and on this extension cannot continue beyond 6 months after emergency cease to operate. And on the state assembly, only parliament can extend the life of state assembly by 1 year each time for any length of time, and the period of extension is same like parliament. effect on fundamental rights, that is Article 358 and 359 deals with this effect. And Article 358 says that the suspension of the fundamental rights under Article 19 during the national emergency. Article 358 deals with the suspension of fundamental rights under Article 19. We know that there are six articles under this Article 19, that is freedom of press, freedom of assembly, freedom to form association, cooperation, etc. And Article 359 deals with the suspension of other under fundamental rights except Article 20 and 21. Means both these articles will not suspend, but all other fundamental rights suspended. So the difference between the Article 358 and Article 359, that is in the Article 358 six articles under Article 19 or are automatically suspended, and no separate order is required for the suspension. And in the Article 359 it authorizes the president to suspend the right to move to any court for the enforcement of fundamental right during national emergency. And in the Article 358, state can make laws or take executive actions to take away these rights under Article 19, and such laws cannot be challenged in the courts during the emergency and even after emergency. And in Article 359, the suspension of fundamental right and its duration is mentioned by the president in his order, and the fundamental rights are suspended either for a period of emergency or for shorter period. And in Article 358, the after emergency ceases to operate, Article 19 revives automatically as it's suspended automatically, and any law inconsistent with Article 19 also ceases to operate. And in Article 359, any such orders should be laid before both the houses for the approval. Now let's come to the second emergency, which is President Rule, Article 356. So in the President Rule, in the Article 355 first, duty of center to ensure that government of every state is carried on in accordance with the provisions of the constitution. This Article 55 says about this, that it is the duty of the center to ensure that the government of every state is carried on in accordance with this provision of the constitution. So the ground for the declaration of the President Rule, that is Article 356, is president can proclaim, if he is satisfied that state government cannot be carried on in accordance with the provisions of constitution. And Article 365, if state fails to give effect or comply with any direction from the center, then it is lawful for the president impose president's rule. Both these articles says about these, and the parliamentary approval must be approved by both the houses within 2 months. In the national emergency it takes 1 month, and in the president rules it takes 2 months. And duration of this approval is continuous for 6 months, and it can be extended for maximum period of 3 years. Maximum period of 3 years with parliamentary approval every 6 months, and it requires a simple majority in both the houses. And a proclamation of president rule may be revoked by president at any time by subsequent proclamations, and such proclamation does not require any parliamentary approval. There are some consequences of president rules. First one is president acquires following extraordinary powers, that president can take up functions of state government and powers vested in the governor or any other executive authority. He can declare the power of state legislature are to be exercised by parliament, and he can take all necessary steps including the suspension of constitutional provisions relating to any body or any authority. And during president's rule, president dismisses the council of minister headed by chief minister, and parliament passes the state bills and budgets. He can dismiss the all these, and the state administration is carried on by government with the help of chief secretary on the behalf of president. And there is a important judgment, SR Bomai case, 1994. In this case, Supreme Court ruled that the president's rule is under judicial review and satisfaction of president on the relevant material. Court cannot go into correctness of the material or its adequacy, but it can see whether it is relevant or not. And center needs to justify president's rule. If president's rule is unconstitutional or invalid, court can revive the state legislative assembly, and state assembly can be dissolved only after the parliamentary approval. Till then it only be suspended, and if state government is pursuing anti secular policy, then it is liable to take action under 3 article 356. All these ruled by the Supreme Court in the SR Bommai case 1994. So the last emergency is financial emergency. So article 350 say 360 more or less follows the pattern of what is National Recovery Act of United States, passed in 1933. And article 360 empowers the president to proclaim financial emergency if the financial stability or credit of India or any part of its territory is threatened, and proclamation must be approved by both the houses within 2 months, and there is no maximum period prosecuted for this. Once approved, the emergency continues indefinitely until revoked, and it requires simple majority for the approval, and revocation is done by president, and it does not require any parliamentary approval for the revocation. And there is a note that in India, no financial emergency has been declared so far, though there was a financial crisis in 1991, but there is no financial emergency till now. So we have complete this chapter, emergency provisions. And if you are facing any problem regarding government examinations, you can contact us on our websites, that is isbio.com on or exammap.com. Thank you class, we will back with the remaining chapters.